One of the world's largest banks is about to unleash $1 trillion tsunami into the Bitcoin market. But what does this mean for Bitcoin's price? Could we see a $100,000 Bitcoin off this move? Could we see a $250,000 Bitcoin off this move? And what does this mean for your portfolio? This video explains just how important this is.
Are you amped about Bitcoin's future? Well, so is Morgan Stanley. That's right, folks. Morgan Stanley is gearing up to unleash the Bitcoin bulls. This titan of traditional finance is making a colossal move into the crypto world. What's the buzz all about? Morgan Stanley is preparing to offer Bitcoin investment options to its wealthy clients. Yes, you heard that right. Soon, the big money will flow into Bitcoin like never before.
Well, why is that important, everybody? Because Morgan Stanley is one of the world's largest and most powerful and most respected banks in the world. If you haven't heard of Morgan Stanley, one of the world's top 10 largest banks by market cap here, worth over $150 billion. And then if you go to vault.com, they're actually ranked as the second most prestigious banking firm in the entire world, only trailing Goldman Sachs here, where our Treasury Secretary actually worked at it primarily. But first, Morgan Stanley is massive because there's over $1.5 trillion in assets under management. So they have $1 trillion tsunami that they can point in any direction here. And a lot of this is going to be pointed towards Bitcoin. You can see 24 countries, 55 offices, but the number that really gets me excited is the 15,000 advisors that will start pitching Bitcoin ETFs from today. Well, I was actually interested in this position. Who are these advisors? They got 15,000 of these people. Well, if you look here, I pulled up, I could only find 2 jobs here, San Francisco and Boston. This is the investment analyst's yearly salary in their San Francisco office here. And folks, $110K is not enough to live as a successful banker in San Francisco. They're going to live and die off of their commissions here. And so they're going to have 15,000 people really pushing these investment vehicle products so they can rake in those sweet commission rewards. And they're going to be putting a lot of people in Bitcoin's direction. And one of the coolest things about this is Morgan Stanley is going to be doing a lot of education when it comes to this. I dug into their website here, and we don't have anything up on Bitcoin, but they do have a lot of advice for gold. And I think everything that we're seeing here for gold, we're going to eventually start seeing for Bitcoin as well on their main pages. Could investing in Bitcoin add a new dimension to your portfolio? And here they talk about gold. Gold's ability to act as a store of value can help mitigate risk during times of market volatility and uncertainty. Store of value, what does that sound like? Sounds a lot like Bitcoin to me. How can investors add gold as a practical matter to their portfolios? Physical gold. Now imagine self-custody as one of the services that they would offer for people. A lot of people, they're a little bit worried about having a seed phrase written down somewhere, chiseled in metal inside your wall. That's going to freak them out. What do you mean? I forget these words. I lose all my Bitcoin. And so they will pay a premium for this bank to hold their Bitcoin, just like they pay a premium to hold their gold. If you're a billionaire and you have $10 million in gold, you don't want a closet full of gold bars, unless you're Gold Bar Menendez, the New Jersey senator. Now, also gold funds that own the metal, they're going to have funds, that hold Bitcoin as a custody asset. And then mining companies, well, again, it sounds exactly like Bitcoin here. Now, they have other stuff, whether it's gold coins, bars, ETFs. Contact your advisor to find out which vehicles could be best for your portfolio. Now, look at the URL here, investing in gold. We do not have an investing in Bitcoin yet, but folks, I say check back in about 3 months. I would reckon that they are probably working on this page as we speak. They got a lot of low-level employees banging out the paragraphs right now on why their clients should be investing in Bitcoin. This is going to be massive, and folks, I got some price predictions for you on where this is going to go. Now, the first thing we're looking at is this parallel channel. You can see we didn't close any dailies outside of this. I talked about this in a previous video, folks. Now, I told you how low Bitcoin was going to go in this video right here 3 days ago, and I made the prediction we're not going to close any daily candles below this range. I made the prediction that, maybe a couple 4-hour candles, but we're going to bounce within the range again. Well, what do you know? We jump right back in the range. And I'm not saying, everything could be invalidated. We could get some crazy tensions in the Middle East that could spill over into all the markets here. But I think we are going to visit the top of this range a lot more likely than we are going to fall out of the range here. So I wanted to measure how long did it take us to go from the bottom to the top last time. And then we measure right here, and you can see it is 21 days. This is a 3-week journey right here that Bitcoin took from all the way down to 55,000, all the way up here to, close to 70K. So let's run that up again in 21 days out here. So 21 days, and we're going to come up to this point right here, $69,000. Now, Very, very doable. But the reason this is actually kind of important is this line right here that I just pointed out. Where did that line come from, folks? And you notice there is perfect confluence with this 21 days and this $90,000 target. Where did this yellow line come from? Well, some of you folks kind of recognize that price. It was the top last cycle. So, I mean, not only do we have the top last cycle, we also kind of, have the top of this range and the 21 days. I could see, a very clear scenario where Bitcoin kind of shakes people out for a few weeks with a couple strong green candle days and then topping out at 69K before we start trading sideways again. But what if Morgan Stanley just goes nuts and every single client wants to buy Bitcoin? Well, I have a good target for this year, 2024. I think we might be getting right at the door of $100,000. Now, this yellow line, of course, is going to come from measuring the tops last cycle. I think it is going to be a strong point of resistance. I think a lot of people are going to have their take profit areas, or people are going to open shorts at this area as well. And so this would be my prediction on how Bitcoin can perform for the rest of the year. I think we're going to, do a pretty quick move to the upside, maybe kind of trade around, maybe fake people out to the middle, like, oh, we're stuck in this range forever, until we come back down, dip back into the range, and then that's when we start crabbing sideways into a nice little potential 100K December Bitcoin price. So that is the effect of Morgan Stanley pitching this with their 15,000 clients, with their over $1 trillion in assets managed. This is going to be massive for Bitcoin, folks, but do not get shaken out of the markets here. We might even dip below the range for a little bit just to scare you. It's going to be a bear trap. I think you zoom out, though, Bitcoin is going to go up and to the right. 95K, 2024, very doable. Hit that like button, folks, and I'll see you at the top.